Hey guys, Rocky from USA Kilts here. Today, we're going to give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain and show you how we come up with some of our exclusive designs. One of the first exclusive designs we actually did was our Irish collection. One thing we noticed was that in our industry, there's some pretty awesome looking Irish tartans. Basically, they were designed in the mid 1990s and early 2000s, but there wasn't many good looking sporrans and kilt accessories to go along with the Irish designs. For the most part, it kind of looked like you just took a Scottish sporran and whacked a shamrock on it and called it Irish. What we did was we actually wanted to go from the ground up and build an entire Irish design just specifically to try to find meaningful, good-looking designs for our Irish customers. The first step in our process was basically we took a pad of paper and a pencil and just kind of sketched out what a cantle shape would look like and tried to incorporate some of the different designs that we would like to see in an Irish range. It was very, very crudely done by yours truly, and I am not claiming to be an artist in that fact. So we took that sketch and then went to our pewter mill over in Scotland that we're friends with and said, hey, we want to make an Irish collection and we want these to be wearable pieces of art. That is literally how we explained it to them. We want it to be very, very high quality and very robust and sturdy designs. They gave it to their illustrator, who took our concept and our chicken scratch that we had on the piece of paper and really came up with a beautiful design. Once that was approved, they took it to their sculptor, who actually took artist clay and did a three-dimensional rendering of the drawing. So once that was finally finalized, we took that, they took it back to the production department and they made what's called a master mold of the artist clay. From there, you make actually 3 independent cantles, and then you make what's called a production mold based on them. Once the production mold is done, the master mold is kind of cataloged away. That way, once the production mold over thousands and thousands of different castings actually degrades over time, you have a good first copy to go back to and create new production molds. Once the production mold was approved, they poured in the pewter and they had the artists there do their thing. Once they came out of the mold, they would basically just clean up the cantles and the different bits, and then they would polish them to a high polish and send them over to our sporran manufacturer. Once the sporran maker got them, we kind of went through the same process to a small degree with him, and we picked out which skins we were going to use, which designs of sporrans we were going to go after, cross chains and all that kind of stuff. The Irish range, some of the details that we wanted to incorporate in the Irish range were basically the strong symbols of Ireland. So we wanted to pick the claddagh for its historical significance and the love, the loyalty, and the friendship that are incorporated with that design. We wanted to pick the harp as a long-standing symbol of Ireland, and we also wanted to include Celtic knotwork for the Book of Kells and just kind of that angle on Irish culture. And then we also wanted to include the shamrock. Now, while the shamrock is the design that is probably the most ubiquitous with all the Irish designs that are out there, we did still want to include it, but we wanted it to just be kind of an accent piece to our design. So on the sporran, we had the claddagh centered in the design, and we actually used the crown on top of the claddagh design as a little ball on top of the sporran. We did a pierced design so that way you can actually see the leather through the cantle. We have the Irish harps down here on the bottom and a bit of knotwork in between, again using a pierced style for the cantle to make sure that you can see the leather behind it, and it gives it just a three-dimensional quality. On the bells, we actually include the harp design on the bells themselves to even pay attention to the small details on the bells down on the bottom of the sporran. And I told you we wanted to include the shamrock, so on the cantle, on the shoulder of the cantle, up on the top ridge here, we actually include shamrocks all the way up the design. Now, that was just for our dress sporrans. For our semi-dress and our day sporrans, we took the similar design, the same motif, if you will, and used the claddagh as the center design. And since there wasn't a lot of room up here, we actually just used knotwork around the border. And then for the harps, we kept the harps on the bells that are on the tassels of the sporran. We figured We might as well do a buckle to keep the entire collection together. So we did a buckle of the double harp design, and then we have the Trinity knotwork in the center, and then knotwork around the borders. Again, we did want to keep the shamrock in there as well. So we have on the four corners of the buckle, we actually have the shamrocks on the corner there, just again as a small accent piece. We hope you guys enjoy these designs as much as we loved creating them. We really did try to make wearable works of art and incorporate meaningful symbols of Irish culture in the designs. If you like anything that you see here, it is available for purchase on usakilts.com. Thanks again for watching, guys, and Slàinte.